Hi, Hope is Alive friends. My name is Laura Lubner. I was contacted by Lauren Smith to recite a time when the Lord was there for me in a really hard, dark time for me. So I remember about 7 years ago getting a phone call that my son's father had a girlfriend and she was pregnant. And at this time we were raising 3 kids together. It was just really tough for me, obviously, getting that news. But then thinking about being by myself, raising 3 children, and where we would go, where we would stay, just like all the unknowns, transferring schools, if we had to move out of the school district to find a nice place, all those things going through my mind. And I remember pretty much yelling, like, why would you let this happen, Lord? I've always believed in you, and always told people about how amazing you are, and I just couldn't understand why he would let that happen to me and my children. So I remember when a very good friend of mine, Luann Mast, who is a pastor in Delaware, came up for the weekend knowing what was going on, and she stayed with me. And she knew that I obviously believed in the Lord and grew up believing in the Lord. But she told me to really pray to the Lord and get down on my knees and let him into my heart. And so one day when she was taking care of the boys, I went out in my car in the driveway and just pretty much screamed and let it all out, and said, Lord, please help me. I don't know what to do. I can't do this on my own. I was suffering with really bad depression and, self-worthlessness. I didn't feel like I was worth anything to anybody, let alone even my kids. So it was just a really dark time. But I remember sitting in my car, and the boys were actually looking out the window, wondering what I was doing in my car. But I was actually praying to the Lord. I was like, just please help me. I can't get through this without you. You have to show me a way that I can get through this for myself, for my kids. And then within the next couple days, Tanner, I will be out in a minute.
I know, but he's hitting me in the face and not letting me.
I will be out in a minute. Okay. Thank you.
Tell me to come and
I will be out in a minute. Life as parents. So sorry about that. So I just remember just saying, please help me. And then within those next day or two, I started feeling a lot better. I felt like the Lord was right there, walking me through this whole journey of, the next process that me and the children have to go through, and how I could get through this all. So, just letting the Lord into your heart and saying, just come into my heart. I need you, really helped me. He was always into my heart. But that deeper, love that I had for him, knowing when I was praying to him that he was listening and he is there, just because this stuff is going on in my life, it doesn't mean he doesn't love me. It's just showing me how I can be strong and get through things.
Mama.
Yes, Daniel.
You won't tell me.
Okay, I'll be out in a minute. And so I ended up getting through this and finding a new place. And I raised my boys, and I was actually really happy, just the 4 of us. because I had the Lord in my heart. And I knew when I was struggling to just pray. Just don't feel like you're silly getting down on your knees praying and reaching out to the Lord. It truly helped me and made me feel like he was sitting right there next to me, getting me through all of this. And if I did not have the Lord in my life, I would have never been able to get through that hard time in my life. So just, reach out to the Lord and just love up on him and know that he's always there listening, even when you don't feel like he is, or wondering why he's letting this stuff happen to you. It's just to make you stronger, and you're going to look back and be like, wow, you know what? The Lord was really there for me, and I can get through anything. So fast forward to about 5 years later, he's out there. I had met my husband now, Noah, and I met my wonderful family that I have now, my in-laws. And actually, let me just put this in there. I grew up, my parents divorced when I was 6, and I grew up staying with my mother and only seeing my father every other weekend. And they went through a very nasty divorce, and I always remember saying, if I ever have to go through this, I'm never going to do this to my children. And always, so we really have a good relationship for the kids, so that really helps. You always got to think, you can be as mad as you want about what happened, what the other person did to you, but remember that this only affects the children. And I think, leaning on the Lord and, him showing me how to be a good parent and a good co-parent helped also. But I remember when I was a little, and all up until now, I never really had a mother that cared about me. So, and this was another time that the Lord has been in my life. I prayed and prayed for somebody to want me as a daughter. I wanted that mother-daughter bond that I never had. And the Lord blessed me with Noah and his family and my sister-in-laws that I love to pieces. I have a sister, but I'm not close with her at all. So, I look back and see that the Lord blessed me with amazing in-laws, and my mother-in-law is amazing. My father-in-law is amazing. So, just looking back and seeing how amazing the Lord is. When you prayed, like when you were little, to have things that he's giving me now is just amazing. So he's worked every day in my life, amazing things, just giving me, like I said, in-laws and sisters that I truly can do anything with, and they love up on me like real sisters do, and real mothers and fathers do, and I have an amazing father. My real dad is amazing, so but my father-in-law is amazing also. So it's just great to have, look back and be like, he blessed me with in-laws that I've always wanted, and a family that I've always wanted and needed. So that is my story. I'm sorry that I got a little emotional, and sorry about the interruptions. I tried to get them to take a nap so I could do this, but you know how that goes. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope this helped. Stay strong in this hard time. I know it's hard for everybody, but just lean on the Lord and you'll get through this all. And you could always reach out to me if you ever need anything. I'm on Facebook. But you got this. Thank you. Bye-bye.